and opinions of the guests on the WYLEANER show are those of the guests and are not necessarily the views and opinions of the hostess WYLEANER and or her co-host.
America in Babylon. Well, maybe it's not Babylon. America and religion. Well, I don't know. Is America Babylon or what? Hey, everybody, I tell you what, we are back. I'm excited. We're back for part 2 of America and Babylon and the Babylon Code. What is a Babylon Code? We're about to find out. I'm excited to come back to see y'all again, and I want to welcome everybody back. Welcome everybody who is watching out there on WYLEANERTVShow.com and everybody who is watching out there on YouTube and Google Hangout and Tumblr and all of our Facebook fans and everybody who is listening on Spreaker and everybody who's watching in Pakistan, everybody all over the whole wide world. Y'all know who I am. I'm WYLEANER, the Las Vegas Queen of Gospel, and I'm excited that you came back to be with me again today. And if I tell you what, the rubber's going to meet the road up in here, y'all. We've got both of our guests back today. We've got coming back with us Troy Anderson, who is the co-author of, best-selling book, The Babylon Code. Hello, and he is going to tell us all about it. And then, of course, we've got Renaldo Wade, Brother Renaldo Wade, and he is the anti-denominational guy, and he's the only one that I've had. Well, I had one other person that was anti-denominational, but he's really anti. And so, listen, everybody, I tell you what, we're excited about having both of the two guests back with us again today. And if I tell you what, y'all know what's going to happen. The rubber going to meet the road up in here, but you know we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, y'all know what's going to happen. The rubber is going to meet the road. We'll see you in just a minute.
Hi, this is WYLEANER, the Las Vegas Queen of Gospel. First of all, I really do appreciate you listening and viewing my show every week. I would greatly on the air. Please just make some type of contribution. $5, $10, $20, $50, $100 or more. Whatever you desire. Please log on to www.WYLEANERTVShow.com and click the pay button. Or please send your check or money order to WYLEANER, that's spelled WYLEANER, to 420 North Nellis Boulevard, Suite A3, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89110. Also, if you would like to be a guest on the show, please call 702-242-2100 or email me at WYLEANERTVShow@AOL.com. That's all for now, and thanks again for your continued support. Blessings to you too, and this is where the rubber meets the road.
Okay, everybody, we are back, and listen, I'll tell you what, we have got to get some information from these guys today because this is the final cut. This is the final cut of the Babylon Code anyway, okay? And so I want to welcome back to the show Brother Renaldo Wade. Brother Wade, are you with me?
Good evening. Thank you so much for welcoming me back on the show. Thank you so much, Miss WYLEANER. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, wonderful, wonderful, and I'm excited that you came back, Brother Wade. And of course, last but surely not least, we have got Brother Troy Anderson. And Brother Troy Anderson is the co-author of the Babylon Code. Brother Anderson, are you with me?
Hi, Miss WYLEANER. I'm here. It's great to be back on the show. Looking forward to it.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. Listen, listen. Before we get deep into the show, I just want to ask you guys. First of all, I know you guys have had a busy week, and so I want you to share with us, with the listeners and the viewers, what was your week like. So we're gonna start with you, Brother Wade. What was your week like?
Well, my week consisted of a lot of travel. I was out on the West Coast actually, and you know, doing a lot of teaching and instruction pertaining to the knowledge of the truth. I got some jet lag still. I just got in early this morning, and you know, only thing I did today was rest and just praise the Father for just you know, just another day. So that's just been my week. No radio show for the week, but however, I will be back on the air on tomorrow.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Well, it sounds like you have been quite busy during the course of the week. So now, Brother Troy, would you share with us what your week has been like? Okay.
Yeah, we got great news this week. My co-author, Paul McGuire, and I had a conference call with a film investment firm, and everybody's very excited to turn the Babylon Code into a feature film. So we're beginning the process to turn into a feature film. I'm going to be taking some screenwriting courses next week and over the summer, and the plan is to hire a professional screenwriter and work with him to create a screenplay to turn the Babylon Code into a feature film.
Oh my goodness! OMG! Wonderful! How exciting is that? Wow, that's amazing. Well, guess what? Hey everybody! He was on the WYLEANER show before it went big. I mean, you know, huge, 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 huge. I'm excited for you, Brother Troy, and for Mr. McGuire. Both of you guys, I know you both are very, very excited about your film coming up, and I can't wait to see it in action. I can't wait to see the Babylon Code busting a move on the big screen. How about that? Okay, so listen, everybody. Thanks for sharing that with us, Brother Troy. We really appreciate it. Okay, so listen, everybody. The phone lines will be open at 5:15. Okay, and so the number is 1-866-945-1110. That's 1-866-945-1110. And if you can also call 702-527-4471. That's 702-527-4471. And if you call the number you can't get through, just hang up and call back again. Watch the show until you can get through. Okay? And then also, when you call in, ask your question and take your answer off the air unless you have a headset and you can dialogue back and forth with the guest. Okay? Because we don't want to get any feedback. So make sure you turn your volume down on your speakers when you call in and just listen to the show, make your comments, and listen to me talk to you on the phone. All right? Okay, so listen, everybody, we got to get down to the nitty-gritty and get to the heart of what's going on. Wait, I just remember, I forgot, I need to tell y'all, make sure to remember when you call in and you speak to my guests, speak to them with respect, because don't call in here tripping and potato chip, because if you do, I'm going to introduce you to what I call a brand new click, and that's hang up the phone on you. Okay? All right, I have to tell you that every week, because I don't know, we have some new viewers out there, and they may not understand how we do things over here at the WYLEANER show, but we have the right to agree to disagree. You call in and say, hey, I think you're wrong about that. I beg to differ. Where'd you get that information from? But anyway, other than that, let's keep it respectful. Okay, so guys, are you ready for the rubber to meet the road?
Yep, we're ready to go.
don't hear nobody. So I tell you what, I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready. Okay. These guys are quiet on me right now, so I guess they're a little shaking in their boots right now. I don't know what's wrong with them. But anyway, first question, because we got to get, well, not first question, but we're picking up where we left off last week because we got to get this thing moving, get this party started. So we left off last week with some questions that I was in the process of asking. So the next question is, what do you believe about life after death, or is there such a thing at all in your beliefs, Brother Troy?
Oh, yeah, of course I believe in life after death. I believe the Bible, what the Bible tells us, that there is a heaven and we spend eternity there, if we have Jesus into our hearts. And yeah, so I believe in life after death. I believe there's a lot of evidence for it. I've read several books on the subject, and yeah, I believe in life after death.
Okay, Brother Wade.
I do believe that from a physical perspective, once we die in the flesh, it's over with. However, our spirits still live because our spirits are eternal. And, they go, to a place that we are with the Heavenly Father, or it doesn't. So I do believe that there's life after death, but from a spiritual perspective.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing that with us, guys. Appreciate that. Okay. So the next question is, do you believe you should honor the 10 commandments or the additional commandments? Yes or no? And if so, why? If not, why not? So that's a combination of questions, but they all apply. Okay. So once again, I'm going to start with Brother Troy. Do you believe you should honor the 10 commandments or the additional commandments? Yes or no? And if so, why? If not, why not, Brother Troy?
Yeah, I believe you should abide by the 10 Commandments. It's very important. God gave Moses the law, and it's important for us to do our best to follow those. It's the society is much better if people abide by God's laws.
Okay. Okay, so Brother Troy, is there? It's only the 10 Commandments, or is there any additional commandments that you believe in, or just the 10 Commandments?
Well, Jesus summed up the law. He said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and then love your neighbor as yourself. And that's the whole of the law combined together. It's God is love, and it's all about love. And so if you do that, then you're following what God's plan is for our lives.
Okay, all right. So moving over to Brother Wade. Brother Wade, the same question applies. I don't think I need to repeat it. I'm pretty sure you have it by now. So go right ahead, please.
I do believe that we are to do the entire not the letter per se of Torah, because Torah in Hebrew, it just means instructions and teachings, which includes the commandments. The Messiah said, if you love me, you would do my commandments. He was speaking about the commandments of the Father. That is in Exodus chapter 20. Now, how do you love the Father? Well, you will honor his Sabbath. You will honor your father and your mother. You will keep his name from becoming worthless, and you will also, how do you love your brother or your sister? You do that by not killing or robbing. You will not, try to covet somebody else's things. You will not bear false witness. You should not gossip. So, yes, I agree as well. And I don't believe the commandments really started with Moses. It started with Abraham because of Abraham's faith. So the faith establishes the law. So if we believe that we do love him, we're supposed to also keep his commandments.
Okay. Boy, I tell you, if you don't throw a monkey wrench in everything I ask you, Brother Wade, I'll pay for lunch. You always got to throw a monkey wrench in the pot. So now here we go. Now, you know, last week somebody had a conversation with me, and they wanted me to actually ask you, because you said, and you brought it right back up again here just now, and so that it actually triggered my brain, because I had totally forgot that I was supposed to ask you this, but it was in relation to Sabbath, and it seems like you didn't make it perfectly clear as to what day is really the Sabbath, and I was trying to explain to somebody about what you stated about it not being a set day, and so in other words, were you saying something like, okay, the Sabbath could be Monday, or it could be Tuesday, or it could end up being Wednesday, or it could be Saturday? Because I was trying to tell the person that it appeared to me as though you were saying that if you start working on Monday, and then you work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, then Sunday would be your Sabbath. And if you started working on Tuesday, and you work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then Monday would be your Sabbath. Now, am I correct, or can you clarify exactly when is supposed to be the Sabbath? Because a lot of people worship on Sunday, they consider that to be the Sabbath. A lot of others worship on Saturday, they consider that to be the Sabbath. But from what I got from you, it's a whole nother ballgame. So tap on that for me, and then we're going to move on.
Okay. We must look at how the origin of Sunday came about. It came about with Constantine, and what he wanted to do was that he wanted everybody to do away with the Sabbath. So what he did, he came up with a calendar that was designed so that he took Sunday, which was originally the second day of the week, and he made it the first day of the week, and he says, okay, this is what they call the Lord's Day. You can look that up in any Catholic encyclopedia. It was done on March the 4th, 321 A.D. What was the purpose of him doing that? Well, it was to take people away from doing the fourth commandment, which was to do the Sabbath or the Shabbat. Now, according to the calendar of the Father, your year begins when the sun equals into the spring equinox. That starts the first day of the year, which is around in mid-March, okay, the beginning of spring. You can read that in Exodus chapter 12. And later on in chapter 12, you'll read that on the 14th day, you had what they call the Passover. So why don't we have the Passover in January? Or better yet, why is it the Passover as Jewish people would do it? Why is it the Passover in September? Okay, it's the Passover is in March or April. So why is it there? Because you could tell that they had changed the calendar. Look at December, for example. Look at the name. December. It takes the meaning of the part decimal, 10. So why is December the 12th month when it's actually the 10th month? October, which is 8, right? Octagon. You got 8 parts or 8 particular sides. So why is it not the 8th month, and why do they say it's the 10th month? So you could see the deception even within the months. You see what I mean? So
Okay.
so that is why I explained it that way.
Okay. You know what? I tell you what. That's a whole nother show.
It is. Yes, ma'am.
That's a whole nother show. I can already clearly see that, so we're going to move on, because that, you know, I can ask question after question in relation to that topic, just that topic alone. Okay, so we're just going to move on from that, because that's just too much rubber meet the road for me right now on this show. Just on this show now, okay? All right, so listen, guys, I want to know, can somebody tell me what is eschatology? What is eschatology? Brother Troy?
Yeah, eschatology is the study of end times, and usually it's associated with the study of Bible prophecy. And so in our book, The Babylon Code, that's something that we did. We interviewed dozens and dozens of Bible prophecy scholars, and asking the question: Are we in the run-up to this end times global government, cashless society, and universal religion that the Bible predicts? Are we in the run-up to these end-time events that the Bible talks about? And that's what eschatology is all about, and that's the central question we explored from perspective of a journalistic investigation, and also this exploration of this prophetic mystery involving Babylon in the Bible.
Wow! Boy, I tell you, I already knew this Babylon Code business was going to be over my head. I knew it was. But it's all good. I love it when I come on the WYLEANER show because I learn something every single week, y'all. I'll tell you the truth about that. And so now listen, Brother Wade, do you agree with the explanation of eschatology?
You know what? I'm smiling over here because Brother Troy, he knocked everything down. It's concerning the end times. It's concerning the last judgment. It's in regards to the future state of mankind. It's dealing with the new heaven, the new Jerusalem, the new earth. It's dealing with teachings of the end of this world or of this age. And a lot of people are very afraid of these type of teachings.
Okay, well, I tell you what, you guys, y'all on top of the game. Both of you on top of your game right about now. Because WYLEANER, I thought I hit you with something right fast. You don't be ready for it. But y'all got me now. You up on it. You with me? Okay, so Brother Troy, coming back to you. Okay. Boy, I tell you, I always have trouble with these pronunciations of these words. What is ecclesiology? Ecclesiology. Brother Troy?
Actually, I've heard that term, but I'm not sure what the definition is. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, let's roll over here to Brother Wade then, and see if he knows what ecclesiology. I almost can't say it. But anyway, let's see if Brother Wade knows what is ecclesiology. Ecclesiology. And tell me if you know what it is, am I pronouncing it right, Brother Wade?
You're pronouncing it right. It is called, it is stated as ecclesiology. It's a combination of two particular words. The Greek word, which is ecclesias, ecclesia, which means, in the Latin or Greek term, the church or a body or a congregation, and ology, which is study. So ecclesiology is the study of the congregation of the Mashiach, or of our Messiah.
All righty then. I think we're moving right along. Okay, thank you very much for that, Brother Wade. And Brother Troy, you got your answer, and it is accurate because I do have the answer. I just like to pull a fast one every once in a while, but I knew the answer to that. Okay, so what would you say, Brother Troy? What would you say that America? Would you say that America is an evil country filled with evil people, both or neither?
I that America was originally founded by Pilgrims and Puritans. They came here to escape religious persecution in Europe, and came here believing that they could found something along the lines of a biblical nation. They made a covenant with God to dedicate this country to spreading the gospel around the world. In the centuries since that time, of course, many other people came here, and there's sort of a complicated history. And so I think we started out with good intentions, but of course, things went awry, and the founders of our nation, some of them were sort of a mix of, Christians, deists, members of secret societies, and different philosophies. And so largely our founding documents were based on biblical precepts, and also Roman and Babylonian, Egyptian, philosophies of government. And so today, our country is a mix. I wouldn't say we're an evil country. I would say that we're a mix. America's done a lot of good in the world, also done a lot of bad, but there certainly has been a massive moral decline in recent decades, and that's one thing we delve into the Babylon Code is why there's been this huge free fall of morality in our country from where we were in the past, and what's behind this, and how does that relate to what the Bible tells us will happen in the end times.
Wow, boy, I tell you, the rubber meets the road on the WYLEANER show today. I'm looking forward to the rest of this right here, because we on the road right now, y'all. We on the road. Okay, so Brother Wade, same exact question. What would you say that America, is it an evil country filled with evil people, both or neither?
Wow. Wow. I feel that, as far as the people, I wouldn't say that everyone is all evil. I wouldn't say that. But I feel that the governmental structure was built on capitalism and imperialism. I believe that they took this land from the original people that was on here, which they called Indians, because they thought they were in India. And so they took over this land. What's not documented is that they tortured the Indians, and people didn't know that Abraham Lincoln lynched a lot of Indians because they did not give up their land over toward the Midwest. So I do believe in the things that that Brother Troy said in relation to taking the Roman form of government and the Egyptian type of government and shifting it over here to this country. I believe it was built on capitalism. When you look at slavery and how they were brought on the boat called Jesus, coincidentally, and how they depended on another race to build this country. I'm not trying to build it from a racial perspective, but I really want people to really think about how this country was originally built, and how the Constitution or the Bill of Rights, was that really for the people? You have to really look at that as well. Was they really talking about themselves? And they were all Freemasons and or Illuminati members. So you got to look at all of that in this perspective. So not all the people are evil, but I believe that the ones that are leading today, they are evil.
OMG. OMG. And all right now, Brother Wade, you better slow down over there. You better slow down now, because you're tapping into some dangerous stuff. But anyway, that's what we do on the WYLEANER show. It's all good. It's all good. Brother Troy, I'd like to come back to you and see if you would like to elaborate one more time on what you just heard Brother Wade say. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, so, I mean, in the Babylon Code, we actually talk about this. There's a chapter dedicated to America, and in the book we talk about, the tragic way that the Native Americans or American Indians were treated, essentially, an entire population nearly decimated by Europeans coming over here, a lot of it was due to diseases brought over, but also to all kinds of tragic things that happened, terrible things that happened. Same thing with the African Americans, the enslavement that occurred. These are gigantic sins that America committed. Our ancestors committed, and it's just not a good thing. It's terrible, and so there is a mix. There's good, just like anything, there's a mix of good people and bad people, and America's got this entire history behind it, and so the big question we try to delve into in the Babylon Code is America part of this end time Babylonian system? And is it actually Babylon? In the book of Revelation, where it talks about Mystery Babylon, it talks about this, whatever this code word is, this mystery.
Okay.
It talks about it being destroyed in 1 hour.
Okay.
And it talks about the merchants of the world.
Hold on, brother.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, brother Troy. Hold on. You're getting ahead of me. You're getting just a little bit ahead of me right there, because I don't want you to get too far ahead of me, because I got some. We gonna lead up to where you trying to go. Okay. All right. So just bear with me. I know you get excited. You want to tell them everything all at once, and I ain't mad at you. Okay. But listen, I need to know one thing, first of all, before we really get deep into, we want to know, and inquiring minds want to know, what exactly does the word Babylon mean? Why does it seem that it's a bad thing? You know, what exactly, now I'm going to come back to you, Brother Troy. What exactly does the word Babylon mean? And it seems like it's a big negative. So for the people out there that's listening and watching, and they have no idea what Babylon means in the first place, will you please give us an explanation as to what is Babylon? What does it mean, and why does it seem like it's a bad thing?
Okay, yeah, so Babylon, this will be a surprise to many people. It's the second most mentioned city in the Bible besides Jerusalem. And so you first hear about Babylon. It was this ancient, it was actually three versions of Babylon in the Bible. In Genesis, it talks about Nimrod as this ruler who created the first Babylon. Maybe, we don't know how long ago. It could have been, 5,000 years ago, 10, 20, 30. There's different estimates. And he created the Tower of Babel. So you might have heard about that story in Sunday school class. And then, God saw what they were doing and said, if we allow them to keep going, there'll be nothing that humankind cannot accomplish. And so that this, according to the Bible, this is when God, dispersed all the languages, confused the languages, and so today we speak all kinds of different languages. So that's the first version of Babylon, and Nimrod is considered the archetype of the Antichrist, and he presided over what was essentially the first, world government, economic, and occult-based spiritual system. And so there's people we interviewed for the book talk about how Babylon, or the Tower of Babel, is the the original place of all the mystery religions, the secret societies, the Illuminati. It all sort of stems back to this, ancient place. And then Babylon reemerges in the books of the prophets as the kingdom of King Nebuchadnezzar. And you might have heard those stories of the prophet Daniel and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And this is the time when Daniel interprets King Nebuchadnezzar's dream and foresees these great empires that will rule the world from the time of Babylon until the end of the world. And then Babylon reemerges as Mystery Babylon and Babylon the Great in Revelation. And so Bible scholars have puzzled over what this means. Is it a code word for something? Is it a system? Is it a place? Is it a country? And so usually when people hear the word Babylon, it's referring to this, sort of this system or code that's opposed to God. It's sort of like the megapolis of rebellion, something along those lines.
Oh boy! I hope you people out there that's watching the WYLEANER show today, I hope you got your ears peeled. I hope you got them wide open and listening to this information that's coming out on the show today, because you might not hear this no more. Believe me, this is unique information coming out about the Babylon. Okay, so listen, Brother Wade, I'm just going to come to you and ask you, do you agree or do you disagree with the meaning of the word Babylon, the explanation, the definition and explanation that Brother Troy just gave? Do you agree or do you disagree with that?
I agree with Brother Troy. I do agree with him. Babel is a Hebrew word, which means to confuse or to confound. And so, what Brother Troy was saying about how how Elohim had confounded their language and was spread throughout the earth because they was trying to establish a one world government through his language. And if you read the scriptures, it say, let us make us a name and let us build a tower in the city. So they wanted to try to establish a physical manifestation to come up against the Father. When you go into the book of Revelation, it says mystery Babylon, which means what? Now it's a spiritual. Anything that you read in the original Testament is a physical shadow of the spiritual shadow that is to come. So now when you look at the book of Revelation, the mystery Babylon is about the spiritual aspect of what Babylon stands for.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. Listen, I'm not sure, but it looks like we just got a message that the website is down, and I'm not sure if it is or not, or we're hoping that it's not. But if it is, for people that are wondering, you can still watch the show live on YouTube and live on Google Hangout. But we're going to check and see what's going on with that after the show is over. Okay, so, but for the most part, thank you for that, Brother Wade. My next question is, it appears that every time the word Babylon is used, it seems like, now maybe that's just in some denominations, but it seems as though they refer to a woman. So is this accurate, Brother Troy, that they refer to a woman?
Yeah, so here's what this is all about. So the Bible talks about Nimrod, but there's another figure named Semiramis who's not directly mentioned in the Bible, and so there's many historical legends about her. There's myths about her. There's a lot of controversy whether she actually existed. Was she Nimrod's wife? Was she Nimrod's mother? But she is considered the Queen of Babylon or the Queen of Heaven. And is the in the Revelation, some people believe that she's the harlot that John refers to is actually this figure, and there are scriptures in Isaiah and other places that possibly refer to her son. And so although she's not mentioned, although she's not directly named in the Bible, some people believe that's what is being referred to in different places. And so she's considered like the sort of the spiritual founder of the mystery religions and all these, the knowledge that was passed down through all these secret societies, and is considered, the harlot of Revelation, and it's just when he was talking about a spiritual system, mystery Babylon is generally considered to be the end times religious system. Is it an apostate Christianity? Is it some kind of New Age religion? Is it a cult? Luciferian kind of belief system? We're not exactly clear, but that's sort of my general understanding of Semiramis and her reference in throughout history and myths and legends and such.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much for that, Brother Troy. And I don't know. I think we got misinformed. I believe the website is fine, so I think we got misinformed. I believe it may have been the phone lines that they were talking about. Okay, so listen, moving forward, guys. What is, Brother Wade, I'm going to skip you on that question, okay? Don't sit over there and inch in your seat, because you'll be all right. I got you. Thank you for that explanation for us, Brother Troy. I appreciate that. But listen, what is the whore of Babylon? What is the whore of Babylon, Brother Wade? Mystery Babylon. What is that all about, Brother Wade?
Wow. I was just reading that in the book of Revelation, chapter 17. I believe that the book of Revelation is more of a, you was talking about ecclesiology, is more of an ecclesiastical Babylon. It's going to be a church that mirrors the congregation or the assembly of the true Messiah. Like Brother Troy said, it's a religion designed to counterattack the truth. The harlot is, as you read it talks about the invitation to view the judgment of the great harlot, how she sleeps with, with the kings of this earth, and they have committed fornication. All of this is a spiritual type of thing, because when you become covenant with someone, fornication is involved, and if it, especially if it does not include the Heavenly Father. So when you look at Mystery Babylon, it talks about being a whore. That's written upon her forehead. That's what harlots did back then. Their names, their identification were upon their heads. And so she is the mother of harlots, who uses major influences such as business, the economical status, the religion, tearing down families, tearing down the environment. All of these things are added, and there's plenty more. The media, TV, all of these things, they work for Mystery Babylon. They work for the system to tear down the knowledge of the truth, so that you're talking about the political powers of this world. You're talking about the true spiritual characteristics of the congregation, and how Mystery Babylon conflicts with that, to try to deceive many people to come away from that and to follow her, because that's what harlots did back then.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Brother Wade, for that, and that was pretty deep. That was pretty deep. So now listen, I want to hear what Brother Troy has to say in relation to the whore as well, okay? The Babylon whore, okay? And then, of course, and then we also have a caller on the line. So, Brother Troy, I would like for you to elaborate on the whore of Babylon but let's see what the caller wants to know, and as soon as we're done with the caller, then I would like to come back to you with the answer to my question about the whore, okay?
That sounds good.
Okay, hello caller, how are you?
Oh, fine, and you?
I'm fine, thank you. State your name and where you calling from, please.
Minister Miller from North Carolina.
Okay, Minister Miller, you calling in for you was on the air with us last week, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in again today. So, what is your question and who is it for?
Two questions, and I believe both of them are probably for Brother Wade. One, I didn't be understanding as to what day he's referring to as the Sabbath, and as far as him saying the beginning and the ending of a year, what months were those? And the next question had to do with him talking about this being Babylon, and you're saying whether people are evil or not, and his thoughts on our political system as it is, and whether or not he would think that one of our politicians would more suit the antithesis of whether or not they would be the Antichrist.
Okay, so hang on just a moment, caller. Let me make sure that you said your question was for Brother Wade. Okay.
Correct.
Okay, so hang on and let me just make sure that he understood your question clearly. Brother Wade, did you understand the questions? Okay.
Yes.
All right. He does understand your question. So, caller, thank you very much for calling, and you'll take your answer off the air. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for tuning in to the WYLEANER Show. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. Okay, go ahead, Brother Wade.
To answer his first question, you have to understand when the actual year starts, and you will understand that based off of the Hebrew terminology is takufa. You don't hear that a lot, but it means the circuit of the sun, the beginning and the circuit of the 4 seasons, because there are 4 takufas. And so to begin your year it has to start in the spring because that's in Exodus chapter 12. And so this year's, it started on March the 20th. So you start counting your days from then, and you will be able to find out when are your particular Sabbaths or your Shabbat is going to be. And with the Gregorian calendar alternating, or furthermore, what it did, it confused us, and it added an extra day to make it 365 days, as opposed to what the Father gave us with 364. If you divide 7 into 364, you're going to get 52 weeks evenly, but you're not going to do that with 365. So what they did was they confused us so that they could keep the Sabbath out of the way, and so that, number one, the Jewish people is always going to keep their Shabbat or their Sabbath from Friday to Saturday, and number two, you won't be able to keep it accurately. So that's the answer to the first question. The answer to the second question, there's not going to be a political leader, okay, that's going to be the Antichrist, okay? If you look back in the book of Daniel, Daniel describes a king who came from Babylon. He was a Persian king. He was known as Antiochus Epiphanes IV. You can look him up. He came and invaded Jerusalem. He the one that told them all about the desolation or the abomination of desolation. He evacuated the temple. He poured blood of a pig and the statue of Zeus, and he put that right there upon the altar of the Heavenly Father. He had them to eat the pig. He had them to worship the moon. That's why people are doing more of moon observations when it comes to the calendar, as opposed to what the Father told us to do with the sun. And so there's no political leader that's going to be the Antichrist. If there was to be one, then I would call it the United Nations, okay, because they are all gathered together in New York City. And why is that? You should ask that question. Why are they gathering in New York City, which is the mecca of Wall Street, of fashion, the Statue of Liberty? Why is it all right there? That's a question that needs to be answered.
Well, okay. Okay, so listen, I want to see, I want to go over here to Brother Troy, because Brother Troy, I wanted you to answer the question about Babylon, the horror of Babylon, but then I also want you to elaborate as well on what the caller just asked on, according to what, do you agree with what Brother Wade just said, or do you have a totally different outlook on that?
Yeah, he gave a very good explanation. I guess what I could add to that is, the horror of Babylon. There's, Bible scholars look at this whole mystery surrounding the Babylon in Revelation 17, 18 in three different ways. They see Mystery Babylon as like the spiritual system, and then Babylon the Great, which is referenced in like Revelation 18, they view as the political military system, and then you also have the economic system. So sort of like three different systems: spiritual, political, military, and then economic is sort of like the three systems. And the Revelation talks about the whore of Babylon riding the beast, and the beast, presumably being this, either a leader or this political military system that rules the world during the end time period. So that's the way I've come to understand this when we talk about in the Babylon Code, sort of this three-pronged system. And then in terms of what he said regarding New York is very interesting. David Wilkerson, actually my childhood youth pastor, David Wilkerson had hired him to run Teen Challenge, and David Wilkerson believed that America was Babylon, and then of course he had Times Square Church in New York, and New York is the financial capital of the world essentially, and sort of a great power center. And then of course you've got the Statue of Liberty out there. We talk about in the book how that has, the Freemason that designed the Statue of Liberty may have been inspired by Semiramis, the wife of supposed wife of Nimrod. And so if that's the case, I mean, it's very shocking that this symbol that we were taught as children is a symbol of freedom and welcoming immigrants to our country, actually could be this occult symbol of Babylon, the Queen of Babylon sitting right there in the harbor. So it's all very intriguing and interesting, and we delve into that in the Babylon Code.
Oh boy, I tell you the truth, y'all. This is some deep stuff right here on the WYLEANER Show. The rubber meeting the road. I don't know about y'all. I don't know what you think, but it's okay. But I'm telling you right now, the rubber meets the road on the WYLEANER Show. Babylon ain't no joke. Okay? It's nobody's joke. All right? This is some serious stuff right here, y'all. You better recognize. Okay, so listen. I want to know, Brother Troy, inquiring minds want to know, what makes what you tell us so much more accurate than other stories that we've heard about Babylon?
Okay, yeah. So this is what we tried to do with the Babylon Code. Is I'm a Pulitzer Prize nominated investigative journalist. I worked for like the LA Daily News for many years, and I've been a magazine editor. So I'm a journalist. So my job is to dig up the most credible evidence possible and see if there's actually truth to it. And my co-author is Paul McGuire. He's a prophecy expert. He's a Fox News History Channel commentator. He has a show on God TV now called Apocalypse in the End Times, and he spent several decades, delving into this whole question of whether, Babylon is this whole question of is it the end time system, religious, political, economic, the role, the connection with secret societies, and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we tried to do in the book, is bring our expertise together to look at this. And on top of that, I interviewed over 100 different people, everybody from Billy Graham to Dr. Tim LaHaye, Rabbi Jonathan Kahn, Joel Rosenberg, Pastor Greg Laurie, Bible scholars like Mark Hitchcock and many others, and then also secular experts like Noam Chomsky and professors at Oxford and Princeton, and the overwhelming consensus among all these faith leaders and prophecy experts is that we are in the run-up to this end-time system the Bible talks about, and then the consensus among all these secular experts is that they believe we're approaching the end of human civilization. And for instance, Oxford's actually created an institute called the Future of Humanity Institute to study what could be done to stop the extinction of humanity. And they released an annual report listing the top 12 threats facing the world, and it's things like nuclear war, extreme climate change, some kind of whole pandemic. But one of them is they are concerned on an authoritarian world government or a world dictatorship, and this is Oxford in a report. We talk about this in the Babylon Code. So that's what we try to do, is try to put together the best evidence possible. Is this really happening, and feature the most credible, prominent experts we could possibly interview, to lend their knowledge and thoughts about this, and that's what we put all together in the Babylon Code. Okay.
So, Brother Troy, so you're telling us that you guys interviewed in this book. Apparently, you have statements from various people that you've interviewed. Is that correct?
Yeah, we quote over 100 different people there. Everybody from Billy Graham and Dr. Tim LaHaye and Hal Lindsey's in there, and all kinds of secular experts too. Okay.
All right. So you're saying to us that you guys did everything in your power. So in answer to my question, what makes your story so accurate, much more accurate than everybody else, is because you feel, and Mr. McGuire as well, you guys feel that you have gone the extra mile to get information from all over the place, from everybody that you could find that you consider to be credible?
Yeah, we tried to find the most credible people we possibly could, and this investigation took 5 years to put it all together.
Okay.
It started out back in 2009. I was a reporter at the LA Daily News, and I was talking to a source, and she had mentioned something about my ancestor, Friedrich von Schiller, who was a German poet and playwright. He wrote the poem Ode to Joy that Beethoven set to music in the Ninth Symphony. And then I did a little research, and it turned out that all his friends were members of the Bavarian Illuminati back in late 1700s, and they commissioned him to write Ode to Joy, and so I was Googling around and doing a little research around my co-author Paul McGuire's website, and it talked about how this connection between the secret societies and Bible prophecy and all this, and I heard he was speaking at a conference in Southern California, and asked my editor, could I go cover that? And he said, sure, that'd be a great story. And so that I went to that conference, and that began this whole journey to investigate this whole thing.
Okay. All right. Listen. Thanks, Brother Troy. Listen, we're running out of time, you guys. Okay, we're running out of time. All right. So, Brother Wade, I was going to ask you. Well, I'm going to ask you the last question, and then really, what we'll do is we'll probably go like maybe 2 minutes over on the show, because I promised you guys 2 minutes each for your closing thought. Since this is the last show on this topic here, I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes each for your closing thought. But Brother Wade, I want you to answer this question, but I think you guys probably already have. This was the last question. Well, I'm going to put it like this. Okay, we're going to do it this way. Revelation 17 clearly identifies the harlot, unfaithful church in bed with kings and governments, checked in gold, wealthy, decked in gold, wealthy and scarlet, color of cardinals, sitting on 7 hills, Rome, as Babylon. But she has made all nations drink of the wine of her fornication. That includes the U.S. most specifically. So the last question of the day for me is, inquiring minds want to know, is Babylon America, or is it a system? Brother Wade.
I believe that Mystery Babylon is not just America. It's all the countries that have united together to form this system. It's based on influence. Like I said, it's based on how they influence you through business, how they influence you through education, family, and government, media, arts, and entertainment, and that's what Mystery Babylon is. It's not just America. It's the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, it's the Zionist Jews, it's the ones who run the banking system, the Federal Reserve Bank, who's not even America's. That gives you a clue right there. The Federal Reserve Bank doesn't even belong to the U.S. government. It is a group. It's a board of people who are from other countries who controls the economical status of this nation. So it's not America. That's where people get it wrong at. It's the ones who run this country. Napoleon once said, whoever makes the money for that government, they run that government. And so we should know right there, those are the Zionist Jews that and the ones that are co-conspirators with them. That's Mystery Babylon, not just America. Not people. I tell people all the time, stop pointing your finger at President Barack Obama. He's a puppet. There are puppeteers that controls the Congress, or like our brother Troy said, the governmental system that has been designed by this upper echelon. Paul talked about it, about spiritual warfare, putting on the full armor, because we're going to come and fight not against flesh and blood. We're talking about principalities and higher places.
Okay. So listen, we're going just a few minutes over here just so that we can wrap this up properly, okay, guys? So listen, Brother Troy, I want to give you an opportunity to elaborate on my very last question, okay? You have got to leave these listeners and viewers with your point of view as the co-author of the Babylon Code. Okay, you need to let everybody know that's listening and watching this show. Inquiring minds want to know, is Babylon America, or is it a system from your point of view, since you are the co-author of the Babylon Code? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah. So what we talk about, of course, we include all these different perspectives. Over the centuries, people wondered: is Babylon the Roman Catholic Church? Is it America? Is it Europe? Is it European Union? Is it the ancient Babylonian Empire somehow reborn and rebuilt in modern times? And the conclusion that we come to, based on our research and interviews with all these experts, is that like he said, Babylon, America could be, most likely probably will be a significant part of this end times Babylonian system. Maybe New York is the financial capital, maybe Washington the political capital, maybe Hollywood is the part of this network too. But it's part of a global system. Unless America gets destroyed, some people believe that America will be wiped out before this whole thing comes about. Only God knows the answers to these things. So that's what we talk about in the book. And just one thing I always try to do in these interviews, I want to leave people with some hope. And I interviewed Billy Graham for this book. He said that he believed that signs of the end of the age are converging for the first time since Jesus made those predictions. But he believed that there's still great hope. And he compared America to ancient Nineveh. And when God sent the prophet Jonah to warn Nineveh, the people repented, and the prophetic, can was kicked down the road a bit. And so he believes the same thing can happen here in America if we simply turn back to God and start doing what we're supposed to be doing. That God will have mercy on us, essentially.
Okay. You know what I was sitting here thinking when you said, Brother Troy, when you said you was going to leave us with some hope. I started telling you, don't leave us with no hope, leave us with the truth, honey. Because oftentimes the truth is just not, it don't have nothing to do with hope. The truth is the truth. Is where the rubber meets the road on the WYLEANER show, whether it make you feel good or whether it make you feel bad. It is what it is. That's what we do here. Don't try to spare nobody's feelings on here, because I'm here to lay it on the line, and that's why you're here. Lay it on the line. If it sounds grim, so be it. Maybe that's what it takes to wake folks up and make people do what they got to do. Okay? So that's all I'm saying. Brother Troy, I know. You know what, Brother Troy? You seem like such a nice guy. You seem like such a nice guy. Very, very soft-spoken, sort of, laid-back kind of guy. So I'm not going to be too hard on you on the WYLEANER show, but I'm just saying, don't try to cut nobody no slack over here. Tell it like it T.I. is on the WYLEANER show, baby. That's what you got to do over here. Okay, so listen. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate both of you for answering all my questions and the callers' questions as well. Now, listen, we've gone over a couple minutes here, but what I want to do is I promised you guys that I would give you 2 minutes each to give your closing thought. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with you, Brother Wade, and give you the first 2 minutes, and then we're going to allow Brother Troy to close it out with the last 2 minutes. Well, not the last 2 minutes, because I get the last minute. But anyway, 2 minutes after that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you to start your 2 minutes. And when you start your 2 minutes, I will cut you off. You'll hear me say, all right, or something in the background, Brother Wade. And that'll mean it's time for you to shut it down. And then, of course, the same rule applies to you as well, Brother Troy. Once I start, you hear me talking, saying, all right, then that means it's time for you to shut it down because we're getting ready to go off the air. Do you guys both understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so Brother Wade, you're going to be first, and you will take 2 minutes to say whatever it is that you feel like you want to leave the audience with, and time is now.
Thank you so much, Ms. WYLEANER, for inviting us on the show. I just need 45 seconds. I feel that here it is. We need to repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. We need to come out of this Babylonian system and come back to our first love, which is our Father. We need to leave alone the Western civilization mindset, and we need to get back to the original path. It tells us in the Word that we should return back to the ancient past and ask the Father, where is the good way? And we will walk therein, but there are going to be plenty of people who will say we will not walk therein, and we will not find peace and rest. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Okay, well, I guess, Brother Troy, that gives you, you can take an extra minute if you like. Go for it, Brother Troy.
Yeah, what I'd like to say is that, I spent, 5 years digging into all this to try to find out what the truth is. And, from my research and from what I learned, we're in a very serious situation, not only here in America, but, throughout the world. It certainly seems that everything the Bible predicts is all actually really happening now. And this is the overwhelming consensus among all these people I interviewed, from Billy Graham to Hal Lindsey to Dr. Tim LaHaye to Joel Rosenberg, and everybody I interviewed, that they agree that this is it. This is really happening now. And so it's very important, if you've never given your life to the Lord, to ask God to forgive you of your sins and accept Jesus into your heart. Only God knows when all these things will happen, and of course, things could change. But at this state, if you just watch what's going on in the news, it becomes very clear that this is all really happening. So it's a very serious situation, and that's what we're trying to do. We're through this book and the film, we're trying to get the word out to as many people as possible. We're trying to wake up the country, wake up the world to what's happening, and we just feel very compelled to try to get this message out. And so we hope people will pay attention.
All righty then. Okay, well, listen, everybody. Thank you so much, Brother Troy. We're wishing you all the best for your book that you have coming up. I mean, that you have released already, not coming up. Your movie that you have coming up. And we're wishing you all the best for that. And Brother Wade, we are wishing you all the best, but it looks like you're going to be coming back to the WYLEANER show again, and I'm looking forward to you coming back to the show, and we're gonna be talking to you on a different topic. But Brother Troy, we wish you all the best. We hope to see. We can't wait to see your book on the big screen. And I mean, I'm gonna be plastered in front of the television, the movie theater, whenever it's released. I can't wait. Okay, and then I'll make sure to get my hard copy as well. Okay, so anyway, just remember you got just a little small interview on the little WYLEANER show before you got huge. Okay, don't forget us little small people over here.
No, I won't forget. Thank you very much. It's been quite an honor. It was very, very fun.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Yeah. Thank you very much. It was a great honor to be on your show, and I greatly appreciate it.
All right, wonderful. And it was my pleasure to have you on and give all my best to Mr. McGuire as well. Okay, so listen, everybody, y'all know what I always tell you. Study for yourself. You have got to study for yourself. There are so many different teachings and beliefs out here, you will be confused. You've got to study for yourself. Don't wait for the person up front to tell you everything you think you need to know. Get in those books, get on the internet, do what you got to do, but study for yourself. Get that information up here in your brain so you'll have it, because you're going to need it one day, and you might need it right now. So don't wait for the person. You owe it to you to study for yourself. Y'all know who I am. I'm WYLEANER, the Las Vegas Queen of Gospel. And y'all know what show this is. This is the WYLEANER show, and this is where the rubber meets the road. We'll see you next week.